All right, today we are jumping into a really powerful idea from Neville Goddard's classic work, Feeling is the Secret. Now, this is a short book, but man, it makes a massive claim that your consciousness, and specifically your feelings, are the real secret to creating your entire world.
So let's just start with a kind of mind-bending question. What if all the so-called facts of your life, what's in your bank account, your health status, your relationships, what if those weren't the real reality? What if the true creative power was actually your internal state of feeling? That's the core idea we're going to unpack today, that your inner world doesn't just react to what's outside, it literally creates it.
Okay, so how does this even work? Well, it all comes down to one single, incredibly powerful principle that the source material calls the law of consciousness. And just to be super clear, this isn't some fluffy, positive thinking trick. Nope, it's presented as the fundamental law of how reality itself gets made.
Now, you've really got to pay attention to how absolute this statement is. It's not saying your consciousness just influences the world. It's making the pretty radical claim that the world is your consciousness, just made visible, pushed out into 3D. This means everything, and I mean everything you experience is a direct mirror of what's going on inside you.
So, here's the bottom line of this law. Consciousness is the only thing that's real. That's it. Think of the physical world like a giant mirror, just reflecting what's happening inside of you. You can't change the reflection by trying to polish the mirror, right? It's pointless. You have to change the thing it's reflecting. You have to change your own consciousness.
So how does this creation thing actually happen? Well, the model breaks consciousness down into two parts that work together. It really helps to think of them as a kind of creative team that's always working inside of you.
On one side, you've got the conscious mind. The text uses this metaphor of it being the male aspect. It's the part that's personal, it's selective, and it's where all your ideas and your desires are born. But on the other side, you have the subconscious mind, the female aspect. Now, this side is the powerhouse, the real creative force. It's the realm of cause. The key thing here is that it's totally impersonal and non-selective. It doesn't judge your ideas as good or bad. It just receives them and gets to work giving them form.
This quote just perfectly sums up their relationship. Your conscious mind is the one doing the impressing, planting the seed. The subconscious is like this incredibly fertile soil that receives that seed and brings it to life, no questions asked. It's a perfect partnership, really. One thinks it up, the other makes it real. But how exactly does that impression happen?
And that brings us right to the secret sauce of this whole thing. See, there's a very specific language that the conscious mind has to use if it wants to talk to the super powerful subconscious.
You can have a desire, a wish, a brilliant idea, but just thinking about it, totally powerless. According to this philosophy, a thought all by itself has zero creative energy. It's like having the blueprint for a skyscraper but no construction crew. Nothing's going to get built.
Right, that blueprint needs a way to get from the architect, your conscious mind, to the builder, the subconscious. It needs some kind of transport system, a medium that carries the instruction and, gives it some life.
And there it is. Feeling. That's it. Emotion. Sensation. This is the secret language. An idea only gets impressed on the subconscious when it is truly felt. The moment you attach a genuine feeling to a thought, you give it power. You are now speaking the language of creation. I mean, the implication here is just staggering, right? If you can learn to control your feelings, you can control the impressions you're constantly making on your subconscious. And if you can control those impressions, you can literally change your destiny. It all comes back to mastering your inner world. Okay, this all sounds really cool in theory, but how do you actually do it? Let's get practical. The source lays out two main gateways, two key moments when you can consciously access and impress your subconscious mind. These two states, sleep and what the book calls prayer, are times when your conscious analytical mind is quiet and relaxed. The wall between it and the subconscious gets really thin, and these are the perfect times to plant those seeds of feeling. So the sleep technique is super simple but really powerful. First, you got to know exactly what you want. Be clear. Then, as you're lying in bed, drifting off to sleep, don't just think about your wish. This is the crucial part. You have to feel what it would be like if it were already true, right now. Feel the relief, the joy, the security, whatever it is. And then you just carry that feeling with you as you fall asleep. What this really means is that your last waking concept of yourself, that mood, that feeling you have right before you drift off, becomes the primary instruction for your subconscious to work on all night long. You are literally setting the stage for the next day. The second gateway, which is called prayer, isn't about asking or begging for something. It's described more as a state of quiet receptivity, a lot like those moments right before sleep. You get quiet, you ignore what your five senses are telling you about your current reality, and you simply assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. The real key here is to yield to that feeling. You don't force it. It's an art of acceptance, not effort.
So both of these techniques, sleep and prayer, they both point to one single unifying principle. This is the master key. This is the golden rule for making this whole thing work.
This quote right here gets to the absolute heart of it. You can't feel yourself into a state that you hope to be in tomorrow. You have to feel yourself as that state right now. It's the huge difference between feeling I want to be wealthy, which just screams lack, and feeling I am wealthy, which assumes abundance is already here.
And this slide just lays out the logic perfectly. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. Your dominant feeling state is your current state of being. And the outer world, well, it has no choice but to conform to that inner reality. The feeling always comes first, and your subconscious will faithfully, automatically create whatever you consistently feel to be true.
This is the final powerful takeaway. The potential, the reality you desire, is already inside you. The only thing standing between you and seeing it in your world is your own refusal to accept it, your unwillingness to feel it as true right here, right now.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I'm just going to leave you with a question to think about, especially as you get ready for sleep tonight. Based on everything we've just talked about, what reality will you choose to feel into being?